Asphalt is officially 20 years old this year, making it one of the longest running racing video game series out there, with only Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, and Test Drive lasting longer. To celebrate, the devs gave us a special 20th anniversary spotlight event, which in my opinion is just as bad, if not worse, than the Sonic the Hedgehog spotlight event, because they screwed up the past missions and a new event is unlocked every 2 days instead of daily. I mean, it sort of makes sense because Drive Syndicate 12 and the Aston Martin Vantage V12 Grand Prix are also running concurrently with this event, and that's a lot of things to do in the game, but at the same time people could still handle that much activity. Furthermore, it wouldn't have hurt them at all to have Spotlight Pass missions coincide with events that unlock on those days instead of putting them randomly in certain chapters. In retrospect, there really isn't much to do until new events open unless you have the cars featured in the Spotlight unlocked. It just feels as if the devs keep scaling back the enjoyment of features they implement, either making things less rewarding or putting things behind a paywall. It really isn't fair.
Aside from a quick rant about the state of the game, the main prize in this Spotlight event is the car you wanted me to compare today against 3 other hypercars in Class S. Asphalt Legends has come a long way. Just think, 7 years ago, this car, the Bugatti Chiron, was the fastest in the game, capable of reaching 467 kilometers per hour. Now we have cars from Koenigsegg, Racer, and most recently Irash that can do 483 or more. Still, in the right hands, the Chiron remains a very competitive car. Or does it? Based on your votes, you wanted me to compare the Bugatti Chiron against the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, the Rimac Nevera, and the Rimac Nevera Time Attack. All of these cars are incredibly quick with acceleration stats over 84, and all are ranked between 47.55 and 48.97, but which one is truly the best? Let's find out and hope Matty Rimac is watching from his shop in Croatia. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I still have more to show you before summer ends, and as always, keep a close eye on the community tab on my channel where I post polls and questions about what you want to see. This helps me tailor content to your preferences. For example, you wanted me to ditch the Church of England miles per hour in favor of the good old metric kilometers per hour. It'll feel weird to me, but since you want it, it's here. So make sure you're subscribed to have your say on what you want to see on this channel and which comparisons or reviews you'd like to see as I play more Asphalt Legends. With that said, let's get started. Right, first and foremost, we'll start with car introductions, and the lowest ranked car here, ironically, is the Bugatti Chiron at 47.55. 7 years ago, this car was the fastest in the game, capable of reaching 467 kilometers per hour or 290 miles per hour. Despite its low handling stat, the Chiron didn't feel like the boat you'd expect other cars with similar handling stats to feel. It does lose a lot of speed when drifting, but its drift radius is surprisingly sharp. Furthermore, it can pull off floaties and drift punches, but not as quickly as, say, any of the Koenigsegg's or the Hennessy Venom F5. Out of the 4 cars we're testing today, the Chiron is the fastest here, but is it the best? We'll have to drive them and find out. Next up, we have the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport at 48.21. By the way, this was the first Spotlight reward car we received from the devs, and to this day, that Spotlight is regarded as the best event we've ever had, simply because we basically got to Gold Max a Class S car for free. This led Gameloft to implement paywalls and reduce Spotlight rewards from that point on. Anyway, the Chiron Pur Sport is a track-focused version of the Chiron. It's the slowest of the 4 cars we're testing today, topping out at only 413 kilometers per hour or 257 miles per hour, but it has the highest handling stat of the 4 at over 73, which closely mirrors its real-world performance. The Chiron Pur Sport was designed to corner at high speeds while powered by a 1500 horsepower W16 engine and wearing road legal track tires. This car might surprise at straights and hairpins, but it's probably sitting duck at 1000 minarets. Let's see where it actually places. Now we move on to the Rimac side of Bugatti Rimac with the Rimac Nevera Time Attack. This car was created to commemorate the Nevera being the fastest road legal production electric car to ever lap the Nürburgring at the time, though that honor now goes to the much cheaper yet nearly as powerful Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. Initially, this car was only available as part of a special Legend Pass a couple of seasons ago, where if you bought the premium pass, you'd get the key to the car as well as extra blueprints when completing the pass or by participating in an Unleashed type tour event for the car. Last Last season, however, the car became completely free as it was featured in a special hunt where fully upgrading the car or overclocking it past its true maximum rank at 6 stars and completing a specific event during the hunt would grant you the key to unlock the car. The Nevera Time Attack features stronger acceleration and a higher handling stat than the standard car, but a lower top speed of 427 kilometers per hour or 265 miles per hour and worse nitro efficiency. Even with the higher handling stat, the Time Attack drifts wider than the standard Nevera, and attempting to do floaties just makes the radius even larger. Still, this car is a highly recommended choice for Gauntlet because of its incredibly high acceleration. But will that be enough to win in our comparison? Let's find out. Finally, we have our highest ranked car here, the standard Rimac Nevera. This is another vehicle that went completely free last season during its Burst of Speed event. Even though I didn't unlock 2 support cars needed to smoothly complete the event, the Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport and the Mercedes-Benz Vision 111, the cars I did unlock and upgrade were more than enough to fully max out the Nevera, though I still lack a few epic import parts to give it the gold treatment. Before it went free, this car was the second ever featured Drive Syndicate Grand Prize with some of the highest acceleration stats in the game. It remains incredibly quick, but the Time Attack has better acceleration and a higher handling stat. Still, this car ranks higher because it has a higher top speed and better nitro efficiency. The Nevera has proven to be a very reliable Class S car, but is it enough to beat the Chiron? Let's find out. This comparison is significant because these are some of the fastest cars in the game. Considering how long it took me to unlock and upgrade them, it will be interesting to see how they compare to each other. As usual, we'll start with a top speed test at 1000 Minarets, followed by a test of acceleration, handling, and nitrous at straights and hairpins. That is interesting. Let's break this down. I see a couple of standout issues with these cars, and we'll start with the Chiron Pur Sport. Aside from it being the slowest car here, the real problem is its acceleration. The game rates it above 87, but as you saw from its launch, the Chiron Pur Sport doesn't accelerate any faster than the standard Chiron. In fact, their acceleration is exactly the same, which makes things worse because people have complained that the standard Chiron's acceleration is fake. So even though it handles well, the Chiron Pur Sport's fake acceleration didn't help much when starting off, which is why the two Remats completely leave both cars behind at the start. Top speed then becomes important later in the stage, where the standard Chiron's top speed of 467 kilometers per hour completely leaves the Pur Sport behind and overtakes the Time Attack. It does finally catch the standard Nevera, but at the roundabout, despite its sharp drifting radius, unless you drift punch it a little, which you can, the Chiron loses a lot of speed while drifting, more than the Nevera, allowing the latter to stay in the lead all the way to the finish line. There's also the second major issue, which involves the Nevera Time Attack. Even though it has a higher handling stat and drifts faster than the standard car, it has a wider drift radius, so it isn't as agile. This will negatively affect it as we race it and the other three cars here at straights and hairpins in Auckland. there you have it. The Nevera takes both races. Let's break this down as well. Clearly, both the standard and time attack versions of the Nevera are quicker in the early stages of straights and hairpins due to their acceleration, but it's the standard car that ultimately wins out because of its sharper drift radius and better nitro efficiency. The Pur Sport is the best handling car here, so while it managed to take second, it only beat the Nevera Time Attack by just a couple of hundredths of a second. Finally, after securing second at 1000 Minarets, despite its floaty capabilities, the standard Chiron found itself in last place due to its lack of acceleration and massive speed loss while drifting, even though it felt rather agile. So unfortunately, once again, you guys voted for the wrong car to win both tests. It was a good effort at 1000 Minarets, but for a technical track like straights and hairpins, the standard Chiron just doesn't have the handling to outshine our other cars here. So again, guys, we gotta do better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Bugatti rematch showdown. Stay tuned for more comparisons in the coming weeks as we still have some more incredible cars to drive in Asphalt Legends. As always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more projects coming. Also, be on the lookout for upcoming polls in my community tab on my channel, and don't forget to vote on what comparison you want to see next. Until then, stay safe and I'll see you later.